Aberdeen may have ended an 11-game winless run, but were Motherwell robbed in the process? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It finished at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1, thanks to a Leighton Clarkson goal in the 25th minute. However, controversy as always in this game with VAR, with handball decisions. Both decisions going against Motherwell. They should have had a goal. And then at the end, they potentially could have had a penalty. They got neither. They didn't get their goal. They didn't get their penalty. In the end, all they got was a defeat at the hands of a managerless Aberdeen. So let's talk about the game first of all. In the Aberdeen goal in the first half, I thought Aberdeen played alright. They weren't great, but it was probably one of the better Aberdeen performances we've seen in a long time. Probably the best we've seen since, I would say, the Barry Robson era. Or maybe, no, wait, the Celtic game after Barry Robson, that was pretty good. But other than that, I mean, the cup quarterfinals was good too, but league-wise, this is probably the best performance since that Celtic game. But they weren't great, but they were good enough, and they got the win. Leighton Clarkson falling at home in the 25th minute. So I think it was Connor Barron played it into Miovski. Miovski hits it first time. Great strike for Miovski. It hits the post. Then Aberdeen get a little bit of fortune. The ball bounces up the post and just makes its way into the oncoming Leighton Clarkson, and he just volleys it home. Nice strike. Liam Kelly given no chance really. Clarkson kept it low, kept it on target, done everything right, got the goal, 1-0 Aberdeen, and Aberdeen have the lead here away from home. A much needed lead because, like I said, 11 games without a win. You've also got Ross County as well at the bottom of the table, 11th place, beginning to put a run together. If Aberdeen don't start getting results, they could find themselves finishing in that relegation playoff place. So it was crucial that Aberdeen got something today. They're 1-0 up, and then just before half-time, Motherwell equalised. So the corner comes in. Theo Bair goes for a header. It appears to either skim him or it appears to miss it altogether. But there's nothing really from this, alright? Theo Bair goes for the header. The ball goes past him. It makes its way towards like the corner of the edge of the box, where Lenny Miller is waiting. He strikes it. The ball then ricochets off Angus MacDonald, finds its way into the back of the net. We have Lenny Miller celebrating. Theo Bair runs over to celebrate. Nobody from the Aberdeen team is claiming anything. They're not protesting this goal. They're disappointed, but they're not claiming that the goal shouldn't stand or anything like that. Nobody can really see anything wrong with it. The blind eye didn't see nothing, but we have a check. VAR's looking at something. Willie Collum, of all people, runs over to look at the screen. And I guess after a few replays, they see the ball skim past Theo Bair. And they come to the conclusion that it's a handball and that the goal shouldn't stand. Now, first of all, it hits him, I would say, above the sleeve line. And apparently that is the cut-off point. So if it hits you above the sleeve line, you should be okay. And it appeared to hit him above the sleeve line here, or at least on the sleeve line. Plus, we've heard in the past when it comes to attacking plays and handballs like this, even when the player, it might hit his hand and he kind of uses his hand to control it. We've seen in circumstances where this isn't a foul as long as the player that's handled the ball doesn't directly get it towards goal or score a goal from that. So I remember Hearts when they lost 5-0 to Dessers. I think it was the fourth Rangers goal. Dessers, there was like a handball there for Dessers, but the referee came out and says that because Dessers didn't score it, he like handled the ball to control it, and then, or not intentionally handled the ball, but the ball hit his hand and it kind of led to him controlling it, but he didn't get the shot away. It ended up falling to a different Rangers player, and then they literally scored a tap-in like 4 seconds later. But because it wasn't directly scored by Dessers, or Dessers didn't get a shot at goal, then apparently in the rules it stands. So how can it not stand here? It made fucking no sense. Like I said, it skims past Theo Bair, arguably hits him on the shirt line, no lower than the shirt line, and the ball just goes away. I mean, it basically doesn't even change direction. It goes away from goal, where Lenny Miller picks up on the edge of the box and takes a shot. I cannot believe this has not been given. I thought VAR was for obvious decisions, clear and obvious. This wasn't clear and obvious. No one even seen it. Nobody bloody seen it. Nobody was protesting. Nobody was claiming. Nobody was doing anything. This isn't clear and obvious. This is just VAR looking for shit to cancel out goals. And for some reason, they picked this and they thought, not today. You're not getting this goal. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I can't believe Motherwell haven't been given this goal. Crazy. And Stephen Kettlewell, or whatever his name is it Stephen Kettlewell? Stuart Kettlewell, sorry. He's pissed off, and rightfully so. I mean, it's an embarrassment. It really is. The goal, it should have stood. The goal should have stood, but, I mean, whatever. They rule it out, and I don't know how, I honestly don't, but, you know, I'm kind of done just talking about VAR. It's shite. I knew it was shite. I never wanted it in the first place. I think it ruins football. I mean, rugby, whatever. It works in rugby. They can keep it. Rugby is a game where, you know, the fans don't even care in rugby. They don't. I mean, like, they sit beside each other. The rugby fans just go for a laugh. They go to a game to just have fun or whatever. Football's life and death, man. You can't be getting decisions wrong. You can't be ruining football like this, man. It's an embarrassment, right? VAR might work in rugby. It doesn't mean it's going to work in football, and it's not worked in football. You're waiting 3, 4, 5 minutes, man, to see if decisions are right or wrong. And the worst thing is that they take like minutes to check VAR and then they get it wrong. I mean, it would still suck if you were waiting like 5 minutes, but at least if they get the correct decision, you're like, oh, well, fair enough, you know, you wasted 5 minutes, we're sitting here not having a fucking clue what's happening, but at least you got the decision right. I mean, we're not even seeing them getting decisions right, so why are we waiting 5 minutes? It made no sense to me. It made no sense to me at all. Get it out. I don't think there's anybody, like, I'm pretty convinced if we put a poll up right now, whether to keep VAR or ditch VAR, I reckon we'd get about 70, 75, 80% of people saying ditch VAR. It fucking sucks. And, I mean, today was another example. But anyway, like I said, it wasn't a great game. Let's just move straight to the final moment, really. Well, there's another handball decision, which didn't get checked by VAR. So, or at least Willie Collum didn't get called over to the monitor. I think it got checked by VAR. I believe most things get checked by VAR, but they just decided that this wasn't worthy of calling Willie Collum over. So Motherwell are obviously pushing for the equaliser. They get the ball into the box. The ball is like stabbed in towards the box here. You've got Graham Shinney. It's like almost comes off the Motherwell player and the Aberdeen player. They go for the same ball. And then it goes from, I don't know who it comes off last, but the ball then gets directed towards Graham Shinney, and it hits him probably just below the sleeve line. It hit him lower than it hit Theo Bair. Plus, Graham Shinney, his arm, I'm not saying he meant it, but his arm was going towards the ball. Unlike Theo Bair, who was just jumping in the air to try and win a header, Graham Shinney's arm was actually going towards the ball. And I'm not saying this should be a penalty. I'm not saying that. But how can this not be checked, but the Theo Bair one for the Motherwell goal was? It made no sense to me. This one hit Shinney lower on the arm, and it hit him, his arm was going towards the ball, and it's denying a potential goal-scoring opportunity for Motherwell. Like, it would be harsh, I think, but I don't see how the Theo Bair one got checked. I really don't, man. It's confusing as fuck, and Stuart Kettlewell, he was confused too, but for me, this is more of a handball than the Theo Bair one. And it's like almost, if the referee comes over and looks at it, if Willie Collum thinks, nah, I don't think this is a handball, then fair enough. But if they're going to call Willie Collum over to give a decision on the Motherwell goal for that handball, then they surely must give Willie Collum they must give him the right to make this decision. Why? Why would... I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's a load of shite. It's a fucking load of pish, man. It's like, so VAR, the fourth official, or the VAR official, whatever, they decide when or not the referees get to make the choice. But surely you need to be consistent. Surely you should give the referee the opportunity to look at the screen anytime there's a handball. Because if Willie Collum thought that the Motherwell one was a handball, then I think there's a good chance that Willie Collum, just based on logic, unless Willie Collum is a secret Aberdeen fan, if he thought that Theo Bair handled the ball, then he's probably going to think the same thing here. He's probably going to think that Graham Shinney handled the ball. But VAR don't give him a chance to come and look at it. It's insane. It's insane, guys. The game finished 1-0 Aberdeen. Big win for Aberdeen. Big defeat for Motherwell. And all of a sudden now, Motherwell, who were trying to push for a top 6 spot, find themselves maybe getting caught by the teams below them. So, what did Stuart Kettlewell have to say after the game? He wasn't happy. He says, quote, "I said to the players, we take ownership for our performance, but that doesn't stop me from looking at some of the incidents in this game and how silly this is all becoming. We had an incident earlier in the season against Ross County where we were told unequivocally at the point, because it wasn't the guy who scored the goal who handled the ball, that it stands, that it counts. I would love someone to tell me what the difference is today. We're not getting any level of consistency with VAR," end of quote. And he's right. I mean, he's right. Motherwell, have obviously had a situation similar to this against Ross County. I used the Dessers one, for example, when Hearts played Rangers. Rangers' 4th goal in that game. If Dessers had scored it, referees said it would not have counted. But because the ball actually broke away from Dessers and landed to a different player and he scored it, then, it counts. It's like, what rule is that? It's a fucking shit rule. It's either a handball or it's not. It's either a fucking handball or it's not. So basically, what they're saying is, if you handle the ball, don't take a shot. Pass it to a teammate, because then you've got a chance. If that teammate scores, the goal's still going to stand. Whereas if you score it, the goal's not going to stand. It really makes no sense. Aberdeen caretaker manager Peter Levin says, "At times, we could have scored more. But I'm delighted with the 3 points. We can't look at other teams around us. It's all about us and what we can do. I don't look at what happened elsewhere. We can't affect what happens elsewhere. The boys just need to keep getting the results and keep climbing the table." End of quote. So, yeah, big win for Aberdeen. Massive win for them. It takes them up to 9th in the table. They're now only 2 points behind Motherwell. They're 2 points in front of 10th place St Johnstone. 3 points in front of 11th place Ross County. So, yeah, big win for Aberdeen. And any idea or thoughts or speculation or Aberdeen potentially getting relegated via the 12th place position, that's done. Alright, they're 13 points now ahead of Livy. I still think they could be in a relegation battle unless they start picking up good results, but they ain't going to lose 13 points to Livingston. No, but Livingston ain't even going to get 13 points. Let's make that for sure. Let's keep that perfectly clear here. Livingston aren't getting shit. So, yeah, guys, crazy decision. VAR, man, fuck it. I don't want it in football, but it is what it is. It ruined this game for me. I think Motherwell should have had. Motherwell's goal should have counted. Fair enough. You don't want to give the shinny one, but I don't see how you can give a Motherwell handball for the goal and then not give the Graham Shinnie handball for what would have been a Motherwell penalty. Makes no sense to me, guys. But let me know your comments down below. I'll catch you in the next one, and of course, until then, peace. Been Fog Football. See you next time.